Why not? I can use it tonight.
Why not, man? Why the F not? What is up, everybody? Welcome to the Losers Lounge.
Everyone shut up. No noises, please. No, just be quiet.
That one might be in order. The Toyota Losers Lounge, driven by your Front Range Toyota stores. Toyota, the official vehicle of DNVR. We're also presented by Bet365. Download the Bet365 app and use that code DNVR365 when you sign up. Choose your offer, find out why. Whatever the moment, never ordinary at Bet365. Today's show is for the sickos only because there's not going to be a lot of sunshine and rainbows on this one.
A lot, yeah. I'd say none.
I don't know how much giggling there'll be. I mean, we'll try.
Pick a minute
listen, guys, I am, let's not do the show during the show.
Well, the Nuggets fall to they snap a 16-game losing streak to the Washington Wizards despite a career high.
Yeah.
I was like, when you come in tonight, like, what's the worst that could happen? They could lose. And you're like, well, what if Jokic also had a career high and they lost? That was what I was like, man, I didn't see it coming. Somehow I had my guard up, but didn't see it coming. We're breaking it down. The fellas are here with you, though. We're suffering together tonight. The man with 2 beers, Brennan Vogt.
Yeah, I ordered one. They gave me 2.
Can I have the other?
Yeah, you can. Do you want it?
Yeah.
Let's play. Let's see if we can pull this off during the show.
Yeah, hang on, guys.
Handing each other something?
Yeah.
Maybe by the time it gets here, it'll be my intro.
Yeah.
Harder challenge, doing this or beating the Wizards?
It's a very full
well,
beer.
I don't see us doing either.
Yeah.
That's my intro.
Over here is D-Line Co.
Guys, we've been through a lot together. We've been through ups. We've been through downs. We've been through downs. We've been through downs.
Yeah.
And tonight I'm just going to be vaping on the show the whole time.
Do what you got to do, man. Do what you got to do to get your mind right, man. That was a real rip there. Do we have the smoke coming out here? Oh, my God, we really do.
I'm just vaping the whole time.
Last time someone blew smoke on this set, the Nuggets had just won the title.
Yeah,
Oh, my God.
true. And then rounding out the show, Harrison wins.
D-Line's vaping. I just might as well drink on the show. Keep the beers flowing. What is this, Modelo?
Yeah, it's a Modelo.
I enjoy
Let's
it.
get like just non-sober in whichever form we choose deeply throughout the
A
show.
Losers Lounge from way back in the day.
To start this Losers Lounge, I'm going to give you a fast breakdown.
Oh
It'll
my
be fast.
God, I forgot
know.
you do this.
You guys don't know how the game began. 3 straight turnovers for Jokic. Very strange first couple minutes.
It was his fault.
And then Jalen Pickett. We got a Jalen Pickett game tonight. He came in. He played real minutes. 36-29 Wizards.
I got to say, he played well.
Bench played well. Won their minutes in the second quarter. I was actually very impressed with the bench. Starters back in, and they were getting killed. In the first half, the starters' minutes were the disaster ones. Jokic, though, he did decide, all right, I'm going to score every time. I'm not even passing tonight. I'm just going to score. He started going bully ball. He also hit the first 3 for the Nuggets of the game with 1 minute left in the first half.
That's happened 2 games in a row now.
Well, the last game, it was 3 minutes.
Oh, sorry. My mistake.
Yeah.
My mistake.
Yeah, don't get ahead of yourself. It was 3. So now the Nuggets own the number 1 and number 2 longest streaks without a three-pointer to start a game this season. 69-57 Wizards at the half. Vibes terrible. Jokic just started scoring every time. I mean, literally just give it to me. You always say it's a math problem, not if we score every time. Well, he was scoring every time, and the math problem still happened. Because the Wizards were scoring every time as well, including our old friend, Jordan Poole.
God damn it.
Some reason he has his best games against the Nuggets. Absolutely on fire. Jokic shooting it every time. He had 23 points in the third quarter. 99-93 Wizards. Wizards made an immediate run to start the fourth quarter, too. You thought, like, all right, it's close enough. Let's see bench to see what you got. Horrible second stint from the bench. Jokic comes in. He's still beasting. He gets a career high. And then in the clutch, when the game was close, wide open Julian Strawther for 3, no good. Wide open Christian Brown for 3, no good. Wide open Pickett in the corner, nope, no good. Wide open Michael Porter in the corner. Wide open Michael Porter, one in the corner, no good.
Oh.
They did finally win a challenge with Russell Westbrook, which I didn't think they were going to win. I thought it was a flop, but that one you couldn't get overturned. They won it, and I was like, all right, there's a chance here. They couldn't score, man. I don't get it. They cannot hit a wide open shot. The Nuggets fall to the lowly Wizards. Congrats on the Wizards. First win in a month. Over a month. First win since October. And here we are. Let's get to our Red Hawk Roofing big takeaways. Harrison, start us off.
My Red Hawk Roofing big takeaway is that in the moment right now, this feels like one of the lowest points of the Jokic era.
No, it is.
I don't know if I can say it definitely is, but December 7th, a regular season loss to the Wizards, it feels like one of the lowest points right now that we've seen in quite some time. And the way this team is trending right now, and this has kind of been building over the last couple of weeks, but the way they're trending, how incompetent they look on defense, how unsure of what they should be running half the time when they're on offense, whenever the ball is not in Nikola Jokic's hands. This feels like it's kind of spiraling in the moment.
Yep.
And we're at the point now where I feel like something big has to change for the Nuggets to save this season. Because if they keep going on this same track, keep throwing out the same guys, keep throwing out the same game plan, I don't see how it gets better on its own right now. So this loss is so bad and so embarrassing to a team that I said on the pregame show, one of the worst teams I have seen in my years watching the NBA, that it feels like something has to change for the Nuggets to save this season. And that might sound crazy for a December 7th regular season loss, but in the moment, that's what it feels like. This was an embarrassing loss tonight.
I agree with you. Something has to change. It does feel like watershed moment. D-Line, what's your big takeaway?
You know what? We're going to spend a lot of time talking about the negatives of this game. My big takeaway is, wow, Nikola Jokic is something else. Wow, Nikola Jokic, when he decides to go in. I mean, the sad thing is that for all of his efforts, his all-time high-scoring watermark tonight, like even he faltered down the stretch a little bit because it's like I cannot believe how much he is alone out there. It is unbelievable. It just like doesn't matter what the personnel is like this year. There's just always a hole somewhere. No one can hit a three. No one can do. I mean, just comical basketball happening on the court tonight. But I mean, wow. His brilliance is just we cannot forget and overlook just what an incredible game he played tonight, even though it comes in the worst loss that I can ever remember in my entire life.
I don't want to remember this. His other high score was 53 against the Suns when they lost that
I
one,
almost
too.
wish he didn't set a career high.
I know. It's like that's what I mean. It makes it so much worse that we don't get to celebrate this one. I mean, we can try.
You're right.
Yeah, just suck
I
on
mean,
that
we
bait
will
some more.
find. So we'll muster some energy later on in the show to celebrate the 56 piece from Joker because I mean, in life you got to celebrate everything, even that. Vogt.
Yeah, I think that's the worst loss of the Jokic era.
It's so
I mean,
bad.
That's always easiest to say the night of the loss.
Yeah.
Our other candidates, we know what happened after. Denver figured it out, actually. Denver actually ultimately went on to win. I don't know where they go from here. And this just feels rock bottom, man. And do you bounce off? Or do you just splatter on the rocks, man? Not to be too morbid, but is there... We talk, a lot of people's big takeaway on the timeline tonight already is this needs to bring about some kind of big change. And whether or not it does, it sure looks like everyone involved is going about it as if they're ready for one.
Yeah.
If it's someone needs to be fired, that's how the players look like they're playing. If it's I wasn't given enough to work with, certainly looked like it in the roster, that in the lineups that were out there tonight. I know there wasn't a lot of choice, but if it's, I don't know, it just, if change is to come, it just seemed like everyone involved is ready for it right now. Where's the fight? Where's the pushback?
Yeah.
They just seem broken.
My Red Hawk Roofing big takeaway is that the Nuggets are expired. I think it's expired. And, I was talking to somebody, I don't want to say because it bothered me so much, but I was talking to somebody today that was like, Julian Strawther, Peyton Watson, these guys wouldn't even be in the rotation for the Wizards. I don't think that's true, man. I don't think that's true. Those guys can play. This roster clearly was constructed in a way I disagreed with in the offseason, but I don't think that's the sole reason for why things are here. I think Jamal Murray's been a rough leader. He wasn't there tonight. Don't think it's just on him. I think Michael Malone has done a rough job. I don't think it's just him. it's all of these pieces together for the Nuggets. Like, I was scared coming into this year. I mean, you guys know, the people that have been watching the show all summer and building up to it, I was worried about this. And, the way we framed it, which I think was actually true, was it wasn't that I was predicting the Nuggets would be bad. It was that the possibility of them being bad was higher than usual. Most years you just feel like there's this floor of whatever. And this year felt like, yeah, but the worst scenario is kind of volatile in a way that can be really, really rough. And I was worried about the team not coming into camp until the day before camp. That never happens. That's very unusual. I was worried about some of the things, you just kind of hear about dysfunction within the organization, but even on the team, like even between players and coach and this and that. And now here we are 21 games into the season, and you look at it and you go, this team is clearly expired, clearly doesn't play for each other. They're not connected. There's no joy. And when Jokic said the other night, we can beat or lose to anybody in the NBA, this is what he meant. The Wizards, not an easy game for the Denver Nuggets. The 2025 Denver Nuggets, not an easy game. And the reason is because there just is no connectivity to the Nuggets. Connectivity is an essential ingredient for a Jokic team. His superpower is taking a group of guys that are connected and turning them all into all-star caliber players. This team's unconnected, disconnected right now. And I'm very skeptical that a players meeting or a little trade or even a firing of the coach is going to right the ship. I think that there is a real problem that goes layers deep with this Nuggets team. And I didn't want it to be true. I knew it was a possibility, but I think tonight's the night that it's like, it just is what it is.
They might even be worse than the sum of their parts right now. Like
they for sure are.
For all of the roster
That's my
flaws.
point.
Yeah, this is actually still... There's a limited version of this team that's just as limited but not broken, right? Like this team is even worse than their deficiencies on paper would suggest. And I think you're right. They just look broken.
Jared Butler was a positive tonight. Johnny Davis was a positive. Morgan freaking Bagley was a +8 tonight. Anthony Gill was a plus. Like, this is why it's not just a talent thing. Like, this is those guys are not players.
Yeah.
And they all were a positive impact players tonight. So, I mean, am I being too incendiary?
No, I don't think you are. And just watching them tonight, it seems like they've tuned Mike Malone out.
Yeah?
Based on the defense, which was putrid in this game. I mean, this was a level of defense that few Nuggets teams have stooped to in my time covering them. Offensively, like I was saying in my big takeaway, half the time they bring the ball up, Nikola Jokic is not out there. They have no idea what they're running. So it feels like they've tuned him out. And you're spot on. There's no connectivity with this team. They're not on the same page. There's no cohesion. There's no synergy. And it's kind of been the case all season.
But the rot goes deep is my point. And that's why I do think there's a lot of things that need to happen. I do think that there probably is.
There's not one easy fix.
But yeah, I do think that there is
Definitely
some confrontation, some difficult conversations that are happening. I think that, the organization is going to have to look at all the different ways that they've arrived here. Like, there's a lot of stuff that has to happen, and every step is going to be an important one. I don't think this is a singular event.
It's definitely not. And look, I don't think that this era or this team is absolutely done. Like, I don't think this is the end of this version of this team.
Yeah.
I think they can save it. It's going to take some pretty miraculous efforts on a bunch of people's parts. That possibility I do think is there. I don't think it's over. I don't. But it's not one singular thing. There's a bunch of conversations that need to be had, bunch of huddles after free throws or before free throws that need to be had, and they've got to fix and make a lot of changes because this thing feels like it's spiraling and it feels like it's just getting worse and worse.
Where do you think the Nuggets rank in the Joy? 30 teams in the NBA.
Lower than the Wizards somehow.
Somehow lower than the Wiz, right? Like, the Wiz don't seem too bothered.
I mean, Jordan Poole is on now a 3-win team out there doing this for the third quarter.
Which, by the way...
Sure, whatever. But do you know what you have to allow them to be doing for a guy to even feel like he can try to do that on a 3-win team? Now, to be fair, Jordan Poole's a good candidate if people would try it. But the point is, yeah, sure, I'm sure he was feeling that way. Remember how bad the defense was when Poole went off? And some of it was even still a bit, what is going on? He's playing out of his mind. But that was Monte Morris and a fried Will Barton, right? And I was a fan of Will Barton, but his body was over the hill at that point and didn't look any better tonight guarding them. No. And so
They can't guard.
there are a lot of guys involved there, but I thought at least with Peyton and Christian, they would be able to build some lineups that can put more resistance together. It looks as bad as I've ever seen it. So
Christian and Peyton both really struggled defensively tonight in a way that you're like, that was just not on my bingo card against this Wizards team. We got to take our first break. On the other
What's on
side,
your bingo card versus Bub Carrington?
Where's everyone getting their bingo cards, by the way?
oh yeah, where are they getting them? We're going to take a break. We're going to go deeper on this game, though, because we have to on the other side.
Do we have to?
We
Are you
have
sure?
to.
Shout out to our friends over at Red Hawk Roofing. These guys, they're the only good thing about the Nuggets right now. Them and Nikola Jokic. Red Hawk Roofing, quality materials, decades of experience, the quickest response time. They are Colorado's best estimators and contractors. If you have any roofing needs, maybe it's your home, maybe it's your business, don't be afraid to hit up Red Hawk Roofing, 720-771-8921. Tell them DNVR sent you. Even if you just have questions about starting that process of getting a new roof, repairing your roof. If you're curious, if you're wondering what I'm getting myself into, they will help you out. They'll walk you through the whole process. They'll do your whole roof for you. Free no obligation roof and property inspections, free in-depth photo reports for all inspections. Support these guys. RedHawkRoofing.com, 720-771-8921. Tell them DNVR sent you and say what up to them when you see them at the bar. They're probably wearing a Red Hawk.
Don't bring this game up to them. I'm sure they're also depressed about it.
whatever the moment, it's never ordinary at Bet365. I mean, it could be a simple Wizards game. You still don't know what's going to happen as long as the Nuggets are in town. Speaking of the Nuggets and the Avalanche are both official partners of Bet365, and we've been partnered with Bet365 for quite some time now. You can always tune in our pregame shows. Superstar Dev has some bets lined up for you that you can take at your own risk, of course. Please do bet responsibly when you're betting with us, but that is always an option on our pregame show. And again, we are using Bet365, where it's never ordinary. Right now, new customers can get $150 in bonus bets when you bet $5. Sign up, use the DNVR 365, deposit $10 and place a bet for $5 to get $150 in bonus bets. Whatever the moment, it's never ordinary at Bet365. You have to be 21 or older and physically located in Colorado. Please gamble responsibly. If you or someone you know has a gambling problem and wants help, call or text 1-800-GAMBLER.
All right, we're back here, segment 2. There's no sugarcoating this one. There's no way around it, man. This one just is a bummer. If we break these players down a little bit, I do want to talk about if this is rock bottom. Could this be a turning point for the season in a good way? We'll get to that stuff later. But as we go through, let's spend a little time on the MVP. 56, 16, and 8. 3 of 5 from the three-point line. Did miss a couple down the stretch. Took 38 shots, though. I mean, there was a level of like nobody's making shots, so he's just going to bully his way to the rim.
We've seen Nikola Jokic in years past, many years ago, refuse to shoot. Like, that used to be this thing he did when he was protesting.
Not a problem now.
A game, protesting a lineup, a decision, whatever it might be. Now he's totally shifted into the other direction. Now he's not passing when he's pissed off at the rest of his team. And that's what I felt was happening tonight. He had this look in his eye where, like, you could tell he was pissed off from just the talent he was playing with, that nobody was able to do anything else. And he was just like, all right, I'm going to have to do it myself. And I don't think he was happy about it. He looked in a rough place for a lot of this game, but he still scored 56 points.
I know.
It was just very notable to me, I thought, how he made it a point not to pass. And, like, we have very rarely seen that from Jokic over the course of, like, 3 quarters.
Are you hinting that you think it might have been somewhat intentional, like that he was almost sending a message?
Absolutely.
Yeah,
Absolutely. It was the same type of message he tried to send when he didn't shoot.
Yeah.
Except he just shot it every time.
I mean, I don't believe. Listen, 0 for 1, 0 for 5, 0 for 2, 0 for 3, 0 for 2, 0 for 1. Those are 3-point shots for everybody that's not Jokic or Strawther, the only people that hit.
That's
Jokic,
insane.
Jokic 3 for
hit
5
threes.
and Strawther 2 for 5.
That's insane that Jokic had 3/5 of the.
Yes.
That's you at ladies' night.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
Yeah, that late night 0 for 1, me, Peyton Watson, 0 for 5. Wow.
Yeah.
Michael Porter Jr., hello.
That's funny, man. But yeah, Jokic, I mean, his frustration he's so frustrated. We haven't seen him this frustrated in a while, and it's a little bit scary.
And I mean, yeah, there's no Jamal Murray tonight. He gives you, 18 points a game this year. Aaron Gordon, double figures. Still had Michael Porter. Russell Westbrook, Christian Brown. You have way more talent than the Washington Wizards had tonight.
That's the point.
I'll say that.
That's the point. The one thing is that, you're missing 2 starters. They are very important to the Denver Nuggets. But my God, man.
Yeah, it doesn't matter.
They didn't know, the players on the court did not know how to play with each
Jared
other.
Butler outscored Michael Porter Jr. tonight.
Yeah, Michael Porter Jr. did 11 points.
That's actually maybe the worst game I've ever seen Mike play, honestly. I know
6 assists, career high.
So career high in assists with 6.
A lot of career highs tonight.
He was 0 of 5 from 3, 5 of 14. Defensively, as bad as it gets, even for Mike.
The back doors are just so annoying. How many back doors has he given up a game right
and
now?
I think every player I think
not even just him, but
everyone he was matched up with in transition in the half court, if they tried it, they scored. If they tried it, they scored. There were even possessions where he was really trying and he wasn't sure, am I helping? Where's my guy? He lost track of guys. The messed up part was I thought there were times where Porter was trying really hard tonight and it just still wasn't good. I actually think this is one of the worst Mike games I've ever seen, and it comes with a career high 6 assists.
He was really rough tonight, and I think he's another guy that it's funny because he clearly tries not to just shoot the ball crazy every single time, but I still feel like he's so miserable out there too, and I feel like it's starting to bleed over.
I was hoping you were going to come
Suck
to
on
me.
that vape.
I was hoping you were going to come to me. I could just get a bill of smoke, but you went too long.
Yes, I agree, Adam.
The giggler has turned into the cougher.
His body language is terrible, and it has been even when he's playing well. But
It was such a sad point to turn to.
I know. Listen, guys.
Michael Porter's year, I get that he's had a nice offensive season. His passing has been way better this year. I honestly have been on the other side of it with him. I've been kind of disappointed in Mike's year. And it's from a standpoint of I don't feel like he's really leveled up as a guy who can score whenever he wants to this season. And that's what the Nuggets needed him to do. He does get into the paint more. He is getting stronger around the rim. He's leveled up there, but he should be able to take over games at this point, I feel like.
I just don't know if that's his game, man. I just don't know if he has that in him. And I don't know that necessarily that the Nuggets need. I mean, look, the Nuggets needed stops tonight. They needed to a team that struggles to score the basketball.
Yeah, that's true.
They needed stops. They gave up 122.
But to Wynn's point, they also could have used some threes. I mean,
threes he should use.
We've said we will track the volume thing all year long. We know they're pushing it. We know when they throw their very best punch, the math can still work out in their favor. These last few games, the math is overwhelmingly working against them.
Yes.
And they had 5 threes tonight. 3 of them were for Yoke. So
do you want an absolutely crazy statistic?
Yeah.
The Nuggets in their last 2 games have 10 3-pointers. Or sorry, they have 11 3-pointers.
In their last how many?
2 games
combined.
Jordan Poole had 9 3-pointers tonight.
Yeah, that's rough.
The last 2 games, they've had a total of 11 3-pointers.
Jordan Poole took 20.
What do we make of this? What do we make of this 3-point? You've been high on the Nuggets can overcome it. Are you worried about that?
I honestly am not. I'm honestly not. I mean, it looks really bad right now.
Yeah.
But they can't turn themselves into a 3-point shooting team.
Right. They don't have the roster for it.
They don't have the roster for it. So they have to zag so far in the other direction where they just are focusing on punishing the rim, running in transition, getting easy baskets, letting the other. And the other thing they need to learn to do is, if they're not shooting the threes, to at least somewhat defend them. I've never seen more wide open 3-point shooters than the Nuggets have given their opponents the last 2 games. It's like everybody collapses in, and you're like, why are you doing that? They're not going to drop. They're going to kick it around the perimeter here, and they're going to shoot a 3-pointer like every other team. It takes 1 pass, 2 passes to spring a guy completely wide open because everybody is collapsing. It's so bizarre to me. I don't know if it's a philosophic thing. I don't know if the Nuggets are just I don't know. It is a weird thing because they are in such a daze currently. They just really feel they disconnected is one thing, but they're kind of just disconnected from playing winning basketball. Like they just don't. It doesn't really strike me that the outcome is bothering them that much.
And it doesn't feel like 21 games have moved them closer to that. If anything, that's a little further.
They're moving further away.
They're moving further from that, and that's what's scary. And this is the first time I think. I mean, I'd have to really think that this is the first time I felt that way through 20 games. Nuggets have had some slow starts. They've had some good starts, but they've had some slow starts. And it always felt like around 20 games they were starting to show, like, all right,
I mean, they're 11-10 right now.
Yeah.
They lose tomorrow, they're 500.
I know. It's like that's the thing.
They're never 500 or close to that at this point, even if they've gotten off to a slow start.
Right.
Yeah.
More numbers on the math problem from the last 2 games coming from our guy, the Stat Squatch on Twitter, Jake Coyne. Over the last 2 games, the Nuggets have scored 33 points from 3. They have allowed 114 points from 3. That is a minus 81 point differential from 3-point land alone in the last 2 games. First time in franchise history they've been outscored by that margin from 3 in a 2-game span.
Do you think it's a matter of teams have just kind of figured out they don't have shooters and adjusted their game plan 20 games into the season?
Yeah, I said this on the last losers rounds. I think the Nuggets are a pretty easy team to guard.
They're like an easy scout because once you figure out there's only a few guys to shoot.
You know exactly what you're going to do against them.
Yeah.
And I think you saw that tonight. You saw that against Cleveland. Yeah, they are an elite offense. They're a great offense. It's because of Nikola Jokic. But they don't make defenses work.
Yeah.
Like they don't tire out teams. And maybe that's why teams hit a ton of threes against them.
God. Yeah, I think you're probably right there.
I mean, the Nuggets scored one more basket than the Wizards tonight.
When you think about incentives, though,
Total.
2 guys that really frustrated me tonight, Christian Brown, Peyton Watson, and those guys are good defenders, man. They're good defensive players. Tonight, they were horrible. These guard-to-guard screens, we talk about it all the time. These guard-to-guard screens, there was a play tonight, I think it was Westbrook, and I don't remember who it was. Might have been Christian. They, like, ran into each other, took each other out, and then it was like a 5-on-3. I just don't get it. That's another part of this where I look at it and I go, do they not understand their ticket here? Just play great defense. That's all it takes. You're on the court nonstop. I mean, Christian played 38 minutes tonight because somebody had to play. But I look at that and I go, that's all it takes is defense from those guys, and you're going to be able to get everything you want if you just focus on that part. And last 2 games, it has not been there for either of them.
Question for the panel. Would you say Christian Brown has had a good year defensively?
Yeah, until about 2 weeks ago.
About 2 weeks ago, it got particularly. Yeah, and I thought it was more of the same tonight. I agree. Excuse me.
I thought he had a great first, I don't know, 15 games or so.
Oh, great.
Defensively,
Yes.
he was phenomenal.
But I agree that the wheels seem wobbly. I was actually astonished at how little resistance Christian and Peyton could offer tonight. I mean, I know Jordan Poole, when he does get going, not an efficiency guy, but when he does get going, he can be very tough to guard, fine, whatever. But that I was, sure if it's Monte and Will Barton, but I was really surprised just at how easy it was for them to score on Christian and Peyton, who at times look more like wing defenders than point of attack defenders. And
Malone clearly made the decision to go to Strawther tonight. I mean, he plays 33 minutes.
I mean, it wasn't Strawther's fault tonight, yeah.
Well, I mean, he also is horrible on defense, but at least he's going to give you some offense.
You know what?
Plus 4 somehow.
He was the only positive player tonight,
The thing
18
that
points.
bums me out the most about their ineffectiveness on defense is when I look at a lot of the guys, Christian and Peyton and Julian, it doesn't seem at all to be a lack of effort. Like they're putting in effort. You know, they're trying out there. They're flying around. Like they're actually kind of maybe pressing a little bit because they're trying to be the defense. Like Christian Brown got faked out by a 3 attempt from 45 feet out and got a foul on. You're like, bro, what? Like, calm down. So I don't know. That's the worst part. Is that I wish it could just be like these guys have to try harder, but it's they got to be better.
I think it goes back to Vogt, or it might have been Adam who said this. They're worse than the sum of their parts.
Yeah.
Like they got so much talent.
That's the thing. They're not this bad, actually.
That starting 5,
Yeah.
best starting 5 in the NBA statistically, by some measures. Guys coming off the bench, they got players. It's just not working.
Yeah.
And it looks like a mess more and more.
More and more. We got to take another break here. On the other side, I do want to talk about, now that we're into this, I feel like I can kind of share my perspective, at least, on what all I think is wrong with the Nuggets. Because I know everybody thinks it's a simple thing. It's that guy's fault. It's this guy's fault. I honestly think these things are connected in a way that I want to discuss on the other side.
Shout out to Toyota, the
Yeah.
official vehicle of DNVR.
Meep, meep.
And Toyota is the perfect truck, car, SUV for Colorado. It's the perfect truck, car, SUV for wherever you are. They've got trucks for days. Trucks have always been a part of their DNA. Toyota has built durable legends destined for greatness, perfect for Colorado. If you're conquering off-road trails or hauling the weight of the world, there's a Toyota truck that's just right for you. Like the 2024 Tacoma or the 2024 Land Cruiser. They offer 17 models with available all-wheel drive or four-wheel drive like the Epic 4Runner. They also offer more low and zero-emission vehicles combined than any other automaker. 16 D-Line.
That's a lot.
Different hybrid vehicles to choose from, like the Tundra iForce Max Hybrid. Visit your Front Range Toyota stores at a location near you. AutoNation Toyota, Arapahoe and Centennial. Corwin Toyota and Boulder Group Toyota in Littleton. Mountain States Toyota in Denver. Stevenson Toyota East in Aurora. And Stevenson Toyota West in Lakewood. Toyota is a proud partner of the Denver Nuggets. It's also the official vehicle of DNVR.
If you're in the hunt for the best fried chicken sandwiches, tenders, and salads in the Mile High City, you want to look for Bird Call. They're all
hell
about their
yeah.
all-natural chicken goodness. With a fully customizable menu, they're taking chef-crafted salads, award-winning tenders and
I
nuggets.
feel like eating away my
incredible
sadness.
top. Me too.
Bro,
Let's just
classic
guys,
strategy.
let's get fat about it.
Classic.
Let's just get
Classic
fat about
strategy.
it. We don't have the ready
Santa
set co-reads anymore, right? Yeah, screw it. We got
yeah.
Bird Call.
Bird Call.
Hey, we regained our spot. Let's lose it.
Hard left turn. Hey, they've got something new for you called the Bird in the Box. Every time I hear it, I want to
Bird in
sing
the
the dumb
box.
SNL song.
I'll take the
Guess
birds
what?
on the
Bird
box.
in a box.
So do they. I saw an ad on TV the other
in
day.
a box.
Parody Bird, that exact song. So there you go. It's the Bird in the Box. People are going
Colorado zone.
They're going crazy over it, guys. Here's how it works. For just $9.95, you can build your own Bird in a Box with your choice of 2 crispy sliders or 1 slider and 2 tenders, plus tots or fries, pickles, and one of their signature sauce.
It is so nice. You think about it, man. There is a lot of times you're getting chicken. Do I want a sandwich or do I just want the tenders?
So true.
Just get both.
Oh, you
That
could.
honestly is a real. You go back and forth. You're not certain. I
That's
love
like-
that they let you get both.
That is like a little, like you don't really appreciate how beautiful that is about life. You just,
So true.
it's such a struggle moment. Which form of chicken
So
shall I
true.
order?
Yeah.
They're like, just be delivered right to me.
Why does God keep giving me his toughest battles?
Yeah, he does. You know,
Bird Call was hatched in Denver, Colorado. Now has 8 restaurants across the Front Range, with more opening soon. Get over to Bird Call and get your hands on a Bird in a Box. This week, only DNVR fans can score 25% off any $15 order at Bird Call with promo code DNVR. Get down to Bird Call or order online at eatbirdcall.com.
What I'm going to say is a little controversial.
Uh-oh, election talk.
And I'm curious, honestly. And I'm really curious Wynn's perspective. I mean, you know, we talk to a lot of the same people. We talk to everybody in the org. We all have this different stuff, but we still have different opinions and perspectives on everything. And here's my opinion about the Denver Nuggets, why I was concerned and why I think is playing out this year. I think you started with my concerns were Jamal Murray. Was he going to come into the year carrying? I knew he had been in this weird funk, and I didn't know how much he'd be bringing to the team. And I knew that the team had sort of run out of patience for him. You know, last year you saw some of this, but I think the team had it. Okay, playoffs, we'll see what happened. Playoffs went the way they did. So there's that. He wasn't there tonight, so we'll move him to the side. He's been well discussed. This battle, you know, when it was publicized, this battle between Malone and Calvin Booth and how they don't see eye to eye. Some of it common, coaches, front office, battle as old as time. But this one had gotten worse and worse and worse throughout the course of last year, and I don't think got better over the summer. And I think that it had created an environment that bled out and continues to bleed out into everything else that goes on with the Nuggets. You have a coach who doesn't like or agree with the game plan of a front office member or the guy who's giving him players. So that hurts. How do you go as a player, as a Pickett, as any of these other guys, as a player knowing that the coach is like, I openly don't like this guy. And I openly hate that you gave me this guy. That's a tough spot to be in. And in the same side, you know, I think one of the things that made Tim good, Tim was good at eating shit. He really was. And I think that's an important trait when you have somebody like a Michael Malone, where it's like, God dang it, this guy is so hard to work with, but whatever. I got to give him this guy because I have to get rid of a player I think is really good just to bring him a guy and satiate him. Here we go. And we did it. But Tim was really good at that. And he was good at all the dynamics of, okay, how do I manage this so that Mo can do what Mo does best? I don't think you had that dynamic between those two. You add in the Murray piece, and I honestly think that's what's happened here. Is it has just bled through the organization that now has a weird selfishness, a weird disconnectedness, and it's just something we haven't seen in the first 8 years of the Jokic era, and we saw it last year a little bit, and we're seeing it this year even more. That's why I say the train is loose now. There's no slowing it down. This is just the direction it feels like it's headed with those dynamics.
There is something to be said about just human dynamics and the way that human power structures work. And when Calvin Booth is openly undermining Malone, it makes the players not see his word as heavy anymore, because it's like they can always just complain to Calvin Booth knowing that they'd have an ear that Malone is maybe not managing the team correctly.
And by the way, vice versa, I think even there, there's like a, oh, well, look who they gave us, right? You me coach, you player. I mean, what are we supposed to do?
Yeah, I was gonna counterbalance that. It's like it's just a undermining power structure thing that exists everywhere.
Yeah.
And it sucks. It doesn't mean that everything is over, because I don't think that the Nuggets are bereft of talent. I don't think that they don't have enough to get it done. I know that their starting five would have beat the Wizards. They didn't beat them tonight. Everything feels very terrible right now.
Yeah.
But I don't think that anything you're saying is incorrect. I just also know, and I bring this up all the time, you'll laugh. There's something about this time of year. Like, people's relationships get strained every year around this time.
Election?
I have noticed. Election, human beings would get like dark and depressed, and so they had to create a festival of lights and things to like remind them that life is worth living. Like, I realize it's kind of a dorky thing to bring up, but it's real. Like, people feel weird about each other at this time of year, and I think that we can get through it. Is why I'm bringing it up. It's just, I agree with everything you said.
I don't know if those two can get through it though, man. I don't.
You have a better.
I just don't know. And again, this is just me saying. I mean, all the things you said are true about. I definitely agree that the team is good enough that they can do a lot more and put themselves in position. But I just also know sometimes a vibe goes to a place where it's like, all right, but it might need a divorce.
Yes, but you know that relationships can change, and they can be professional and removing personal parts that don't work. Yeah. And they can find ways to work together. It's just they need to. This is Calvin's first time. I'm sure there's a lot of like not knowing which battles to let go and which ones to fight. And that stuff can be figured out, but it has to be done through mutual respect.
Yeah, I think a lot of the stuff Adam laid out was right. I mean, there's been a lot of things bubbling under the surface for, the last 2 seasons, last season and this season. And it feels like it's all been building and it's coming to a head now. You've got the Jamal portion of it. You've got the Calvin Booth, Michael Malone conflict, which has been a real thing as it's been reported. And I've even heard that it's like bled over to the locker room, and
that's what I'm saying.
It's gotten into a place where like players are torn, in that kind of two-sided thing. So it's just kind of all been building and building and building. And yeah, when you're winning, those things can get smoothed out and those things can go away for a week.
Yeah.
And we can bury that for, a couple weeks because we're on a 5-game winning streak. But when they're losing, it's impossible to avoid them.
What do you guys think about this? Is so outside of his nature. I'm not saying he should or shouldn't. I'm literally just talking. What do you guys think about what kind of impact it would have if Jokic just called everyone out in a way he never has before?
I think a big impact.
It's something that could help fix things. Yes.
Yeah, because one thing I'm looking at right now, and obviously they're very different personality types and leader types. Anthony Edwards has no problem saying it like it is.
Yeah.
Very different guy from Jokic. But they were playing some really, really horrible basketball in defense a couple weeks ago. And he said as much, with some forcefulness. And guys turned it around. I don't know if that's causation, right? But I do wonder if we're at a breaking point where Jokic is really generally wonderful, kind of pressure-free leadership style would benefit from a shakeup in this moment. Just because I don't know. Do you bench Jamal? Does he respond well? I don't know.
I think it might be something that just might need to happen. And I don't want to put more on Jokic because he's scoring half the team's points in a loss. When the Nuggets score 113,
Yep.
he's actually scoring half the team's points, pretty much. I don't want to put more on him, but something like that might have to happen
Right.
to save this season. Might have to.
It is like, again, it's just not in Yoke's nature, but would
Right.
it help? I think it probably would.
In a perfect world, he isn't tasked with that responsibility, but
And I just want it to be clear because I don't want to make it sound like in this like the conflict and dysfunction. It's not, we're making it like Cal Malone. I think it's conflict just all over throughout the org. You know what I mean? Like just weird, unaligned visions between everybody, even within subgroups, you know. And I think the point is less that it's like people taking sides, and more the point is that dysfunction just can't be boxed in. It finds its way out no matter what you do, and it bleeds into other things. And I just feel like it's there. I do think Yoke's leadership on something like that could probably help, but this is a big issue for the Nuggets, man. It's a big one, and it's a real challenge, and it's unlike anything we've ever seen. Honestly, in the Jokic era, we've largely avoided these types of conflicts. Bones is unhappy. DeMarcus Cousins is in a fight.
This is reserved for the other teams.
Yeah, we haven't had any
We
of
don't
this.
do this type of thing.
We haven't seen any of this.
And yet here we are, just like everyone else.
Oh my God.
Remember when every night was a great night to be us for like 3 months?
I will say a couple shout outs here. Julian Strawther, 7 of 13. He got 13 shots up, which I feel is important. I think that's why Malone got him out there. To the point earlier about Michael Porter not being able to create this or that. Julian doesn't create looks I love, but tonight he goes 7 of 13, and I think that was one reason why.
He also had 5 stocks tonight. Brutal, and one at the end there that pretty much sealed the deal.
Yeah.
And he is certainly not a good defender, but tonight, like Strawther's effort was there, the production was there. It was actually a good Strawther game, but all for naught.
But these things are, we're building towards something larger. So that a good Strawther game is actually a pretty monumental thing. He's been in kind of a terrible little rut. So it's always good if you see any signs of life anywhere that previously seemed dead. Again, Aaron Gordon will come back. Jamal Murray will come back. The team will not magically be fixed, but it's not as dead as it seems at this moment.
By the way, Jalen Pickett tonight, 3 rebounds, 2 assists. Not
Let's
exactly
go.
a great
Let's
stat
go.
line. This was actually the best Pickett has looked. He hasn't played a lot of minutes total.
And what did it cost you, Adam?
Everything. Jokic. Is he the reason Yoke went for 56? Many people are saying it.
He did pass it to
He
Jokic a
actually
lot.
did go for 56 because of Pickett, because he looked around and he's like,
There
"God,
has to be
not
one-
pass it."
There has to be one advanced stat that makes that connection.
If you want to rile up already tortured fan base,
I'm just saying,
Put out an
honestly,
Ernest
we've
Pickett
seen
thread
Pickett minute. We've seen like 200 minutes.
Sure,
and
yeah.
all 200 of them were an absolute disaster.
Yeah.
They didn't lose him tonight.
Yeah, he
Which
was
is
he was
crazy
fine.
that
He
the
was
bench-
actually fine tonight.
Yeah, so you at least got to shout it out. That's the end of the shout outs.
When Hunter Tyson missed that wide open 3, I can't explain it. I mean, I didn't think it was going to go in.
That was the last.
But
thing.
I just felt pain in my organs,
That hurt.
I actually screamed. I actually
He was the
screamed
hunted
downstairs.
tonight.
He was the hunted tonight. All right, let's take our final break. On the other side, we'll tie a bow on it. Let's find some optimism, guys. Let's find something.
Oh?
Well, we're gonna snake.
And it has to be real. It has to be real, not like a
Jesus.
made-up one. You have to find a real, genuine.
We're not gonna snake
Trade
draft.
machine?
Snake draft
Maybe?
painful moments over the last 2 weeks.
Yeah, let's do that.
Shout out to our friends over at Rugged Road.
Yeah.
Rugged Road. They are dedicated to creating innovative and durable outdoor gear for adventurers who demand the best. Their products designed with the highest quality materials and craftsmanship, ensuring they perform in the toughest conditions, land or water. Rugged Road gear is built to accompany you on every adventure. One of their big things, floatability.
Yes.
Every Rugged Road cooler floats upright.
It's
Yes,
the top
dude.
thing I want from my cooler, and I'm
Right?
not. I'm
Well,
not
listen,
kidding,
there's
actually.
been a whole shift of these high-end coolers
Yeah.
from companies named after
They
mythical
gotta
beasts. And they're too heavy. They just sink to the bottom. You
Gotta
can't carry
float.
with them. Rugged Road sees this. They're like, great. You
You're
have,
rafting, your cooler
But they're
falls
like-
off, boom, it's floating.
but they're like,
Floating.
Right
great.
there.
You have high quality, coolers where the ice lasts forever. This is that too.
Yep.
But it's not made out of like titanium. You can
Right,
like
the
actually
best of both worlds.
carry it to places.
Lightweight design as well, durable and dependable.
I also
versatile
love a Rugged Road.
too.
Oh, that
Say
is
it
a
5 times fast.
It's a rugged road.
Like the one that takes you from Aspen to Crested Butte. Rugged road.
Oh,
Beautiful.
man.
Get ready for your summer adventures with Rugged Road Coolers. RuggedRoadOutdoors.com. Use the code DNVR. 10% off your order. Lightweight, durable, always floating upright. Perfect in land or on land or in water. Leave that heavy other cooler at home. Get yourself a better, lighter cooler from Rugged Road. That also floats upright.
Let's go.
Saturday Neon makes officially licensed collegiate logo LED neon signs. That's perfect for your home, your sports bar, your man or woman cave. We've got one for both the Buffs and the Rams up by the front door. Now, you know this company was started by two CU Buff alums. How do you know? Because only the Buff sign works, which is really just the most
CSU one's been broken for years.
intense symbolism I have ever seen in my life. But that actually has nothing to do. That's just us. We broke it. We should fix it. They make great stuff. Unlike traditional neon, these LED signs won't break or shatter, but still give you that classic uniform glow that you know and love. LEDs last up to 100,000 hours, so you'll be enjoying your sign for years to come. Again, this is perfect for your house, your sports cave, your sports bar, your podcast studio. If you're trying to rep your favorite team, your college, do it through Saturday Neon. And when you do, use code DNVR. You'll get 10% off your order at SaturdayNeon.com.
Guys, I was going to go for optimism, but we have 50 super chats.
I bet
They might be optimistic.
I don't think we're going to get optimism.
I would think they would be 100% optimistic.
We're pushing optimism to tomorrow, guys.
Let's do a counter. Okay, let's. Kale, can you make a counter in the corner of positive comments that we get? Like, just
Yeah,
we should make a type. Fire Malone, Calvin.
let's
Then
just make it easy. We'll just do every positive comment we get. We'll add one to the tally.
All right, what do we got?
Here we go. Oh, we haven't looked at the chat all night.
how
Let's
big
take
these
a
super
take a
chats are.
glimpse.
Yeah.
Clarence Molina wasted 50 piece by
don't
Joker.
add this to the chat.
Other than Joker, AG, and Brody, Hart, Energy? Question mark. Malone and bad subs. PWAT should be closing games, not straw. Need trade or no playoffs.
Okay, do not add that to the positive list.
Yep. So far, we're still at 0.
Yeah.
Astray. Change is desperately needed. The problem is the guy who caused this will get away scot-free while the wrong people will get scapegoated. This sucks.
Who do you think? Is he talking about Cal here?
I'm assuming he's talking about Calvin Booth.
Does not have a contract extension.
Don't add that to the positive, Kale.
This does suck. I do agree.
Thank you. We have Cleric D-line here taking notes. Vladislav, in my opinion, don't trade MPJ midseason. This season is over, and all we have left is to go all out in the summer. There is no win now move to be made at the moment.
I disagree with that, but at the same time, I get it.
Kale, do not add that to the tally.
Joker's wild. We barely have any draft picks, and MPJ is our only valuable trade asset. We can't make this team much better. I'm afraid it is time to rebuild. Trade Jokic.
I'm telling you,
You
this team
take
is
that
not,
back,
This
man.
team is
Take
not
that
that bad.
Thank you for the $10,
They
but take
just
that
hate
back.
each other.
Still at 0, Kale. Still at 0.
Yeah, they just hate each other, and they're not having fun playing, guys.
still at 0.
it's like,
Keep your chin up. I will say, man, I don't just hold the line. You don't
hold
ever
the
want your
line,
favorite
yeah.
team to trade the best player, man. I know it sucks, but
This show might go away if they trade Jokic, so you don't want that to happen.
Well,
no, I just mean hold the line on Jokic. Don't trade Jokic, man. You never want that. You never want to root for that, no matter how bad it's gotten. Big Honey, hello Nug Life, my old friend.
not positive. 0 still.
Not negative.
No, but not positive. But not negative.
We got one that's neither
Hey,
here
hold
nor
on
there.
a second.
Diz with a little nostalgia blast.
You know what?
Heat
Give us
versus
a 1,
Nuggets?
Kale. Give us a 1. Big.
Put it down.
What is this?
One
My damn
positive
microwave?
Super chat.
Baby, boom,
Yeah.
boom. We got it. Hell yeah.
Shout out to I like how it just had to be neither here nor there, and it's positive. When the team heard there was a pool party in DC, they thought there was a real pool party. One of those losses you have to laugh, otherwise you would cry.
Do not add that
That
to.
is in the negative still.
You know, tough.
Shut up and take my money. The Nuggets need an intervention ASAP. Hell, trade anyone.
Okay.
Definitely negative.
They do need an intervention, though.
Yeah.
Time
I mean,
here,
I'm-
time-
We should be the ones to give it to him.
I'm the
for
one
being honest.
vaping on the job.
Yeah,
Maybe I need
maybe
the
Eric
intervention.
needs an intervention. Tamir Tahir, our second best player, is sitting in the locker room watching UFC and ordering DoorDash while Joker is dying to score half of the team's points.
do not-
Laugh
We
my
didn't,
ass.
we didn't
Very
bring this
negative.
up. We
Nope,
didn't bring
very
this up, by the
negative.
way, but it was a little strange that Murray wasn't out on the bench. I mean, I'm not
Oh,
surprised.
it's terrible.
but-
It's absolutely terrible. Awful, terrible optics. I pray he was getting treatment, and if an image arrives of him or
You will be
arises of him at the UFC,
You'll be pained to know there was in fact a big fight tonight, but I'm not saying he was there.
Yeah.
No,
I'm just saying there was a big
I'm
fight
saying
tonight.
if somehow, whatever. Anyway,
Sammy G, someone needs to be held accountable for how this season has started.
Oh, boy.
His name's Calvin Booth. What's Malone supposed to do with this roster, honestly?
do not add to that to the positive. Yeah.
From Alex, trade all of them and expletive Zeke, but not Gordon.
Very negative.
Okay, leave that out.
Man, the worst part is we can't even update the Zeke counter tonight.
I know. What is
We can't even-
5555
We
is
can't
actually going to
even-
super chat
Can't
tonight?
Zeke Najee, man. How
Oh,
does it
no.
feel when all those players are out? You're playing the Wizards. All right.
I will.
All right.
I'll save it for the super
Yeah,
chat.
save it for the chat. Save it for the chat.
He's like, not even tonight? What?
No, if it helps though, you did still get blamed in the post-game lounge. Okay, here we go. Naveen Nevin, some personal positives that might cheer you
What?
sickos up. This podcast was my most listened to
let's
podcast of
go.
the 2024 YouTube recap.
Hell yeah.
I listened to a whopping 590 minutes. That's 98 hours.
5,900.
Thank you.
Yep.
5,900 minutes. That's
Cheers,
98
babe.
hours. Cheers,
Cheers.
babes.
Two
Cheers,
positives.
babes.
Yes.
That
Cheers, babes.
Dude,
Very
we needed-
positive.
We
Cheers,
needed
babe.
that. Wow. Thank you. Thank you.
Hashtag shut up and take my money. Cedric paying again, just to clarify, he meant trade and not raid. I hope this wakes up the whole team.
Is that positive? Correcting a typo?
I hope this wakes up the whole team is kind of positive. That's like a hope. It's hope. It's hope.
No, we can't add it. Two
right.
positive only.
I do love the idea of doing another super chat just to correct what you got wrong the first time.
Why not?
Boy D Sauce, there's a direct correlation between Mike's outside shooting and the number of IG models sitting courtside.
Oh.
Always money in LA and Miami.
Oh, is that what happened tonight? Did
There was-
Jordan Poole see a baddie courtside and then turn into Prime Jordan?
Not
no,
in
he
DC,
just saw
man.
the Nuggets
Not in
perimeter
DC,
defense,
Yeah,
actually. Yeah.
Oh.
5-5-5-5-5-ish. Here we go. I'm not even mad that we lost, Adam. He's furious that Zeke didn't play 1 second in this game. God!
Oh, man. F you below.
Malone.
Definitely not in the positive. Definitely not
I
in the
will
positive.
say though,
We've
it-
lost 5-5-5-5
It
ish.
is crazy,
Oh, no.
and I know Zeke Najee isn't good. It is crazy that DeAndre Jordan is playing consistently over him.
He had 1 point tonight. He did
That
miss
is
multiple dunks.
absolutely wild.
I mean, even if PJ Hall's bad, he looks kind of like Miles Teller. That's something. Throw him out there,
Zeke
you know?
Najee, honestly, this has got to be
Looks like
such a low.
kilometers, Teller.
So, like, why didn't Coach play you tonight? Like, literally, he will. What will it take?
You just
to
got to
in a
get back
game?
in that Zeke mobile and drive.
We're
home.
missing all of our roster, and we're playing the worst team in the NBA. Is
Are we
that
still-
enough? No.
So wait, whose pick is it? Am I snake drafting? Oh, no, it's super chat shit.
Oh, man.
How hard are you hitting that?
I'm,
vape
dude,
over there?
I'm vaping over here, dude.
Wait, you thought we were in a snake draft?
I thought we were
I
doing
was-
positives. That was
Oh my
hilarious.
God.
was
That was
joking.
great.
I was
That
joking.
was
No, they weren't.
Good Lord. Yvonne NBG 62. If I am Yoke, I would boycott this team.
Whoa.
Until half of the team is traded.
Oh, boy.
Booth is gone. Murray is in shape.
Negative.
Malone is overrated because 10 effing years you can't find a system with non-Jokic lineup.
I
Oh, boy. Do not
look
add
at
that to the positive.
That's a hard one to
Might have to
defend.
take one away. That was so negative.
That was so
Again, fair though. You know, just throw your hate.
Yeah,
out.
dude,
That's
get it
fine.
out, get it out.
Peter Duck, 5 threes made, only 2 nugs hit threes. It's unacceptable.
It
Is
is.
Duck
didn't
really
help.
your last name?
Definitely not, dude.
That'd be a cool name.
Tahir, this
Such good
team
ducks
needs
out this time of year, man.
this team needs a big change to bring a shock into the locker room. Calvin fired, Malone fired, Jamal bench. Can't just sit there and do nothing.
You definitely can't sit there and do nothing.
I'm gonna vape.
What if they what if they do? 5-5-5-5-5-ish. Okay, I need to get that out of my system. For reals though, the vibe is off with this team. AG on the bench, but no Jamal. Very interesting.
Yeah.
2 cracks and a positive comment. 0.
Closing with Strawther over Mike and PWAT, or over PWAT, I mean. Very strange.
Big Honey with a take that I think I kind of agree with right now. At least as of today.
Of course they would.
Team Serbia would beat this team.
Easily.
Abramovich
Smack
would
the hell
eat.
out of him, man.
Alexa Abramovich would. Oh my God. I
Dude,
don't
he'd
even
be
want to
so
know.
far in the Nuggets' heads.
But he also might eat someone's face later.
Yeah, that's true. What else do we got? Elijah. None of this would have happened if Dario was available. Also, coincidence? Jamal didn't travel with the team. Plus, there's a
Don't
UFC
even bring it
fight
in.
tonight. in
Do
Vegas.
not add that to the positive, Kale.
Donnie, opponents after beating us all say that's a winning team, championship team. It shows their mindset against us. Feel like the Nuggets don't have that mindset about themselves now. That's a good point. I believe a players meeting is a start, Adam.
I believe it is too, man. I believe it is too. Although,
Dude, but yeah.
Legs always tells me
that's what I'm
players
saying,
meetings
yeah.
never mean anything.
They don't. They never work.
Yeah, that's what Legler was saying. That
It could be a
doesn't
start.
mean anything.
He's
It's just
like, come
annoying.
on.
It's like when we're like, oh, vote. We're gonna do whatever. You're like,
But it's just like,
thanks.
like we always think about a movie where the guy gives the speech, but most players aren't like great orators.
Well, it's
yeah.
also
They're like, oh,
4 score.
and what had happened was. Right.
well, yeah. It's less of like a measure to improve things as it is a sign that things aren't going well.
Yeah.
Goat
usually.
boy, embarrassing loss, but I am crazy. Am I crazy for not panicking?
Okay.
We have only 2 more L's than
Okay.
Houston in second place, and we have a lot of time to figure
Okay,
it
that's
out.
positive. Ding. Positive. Silver lining. Silver lining.
Our guy, Goat Boy,
you are the
man.
goat.
Goat boy, dude. Thank you.
Nick,
I'll vape in your honor.
Nick Trumbo, I've been an optimist for a while, but this game broke me. Missing open threes is one thing, but the complete lack of effort and fundamentals on D is wild.
Yeah, man.
It's also correct, man. It's also, for all the stuff on offense, it's really the defense that's making me want to run into Colfax.
Don't do it.
And yeah, I'm very sad tonight,
You're
guys.
the only one that can walk into Colfax.
You're right. And you know what? When I say it sounds too real and dark,
I know.
I'm just
It's
gonna
funny.
let
Yeah, for
D-Line
me,
handle
they're like,
that.
funny. For
Yeah,
you,
how
it's
do you
like,
make that sound funny?
They're like, where's better?
Yeah. Jay, I'm very sad tonight, guys, but I met Marcus from Australia at the
Hey,
bar.
from down under.
Misery loves company, and the DNVR bar has the best company.
We
I thought
have
you
the
were gonna
most
say-
misery of
I
anywhere.
really thought that's where she was going.
Damn.
We have the most misery, but the best company.
Yeah, that's
All caps
yeah,
for vote to make it easier to read. Hashtag parade canceled.
I've been positive.
It's either Ivan or Yvonne, and I am so sorry because I just don't know how to know. Stop with Project Dynasty crap and silver linings. This is Project Bullshit. That's an awesome line.
You can hear the anger too in the typing.
That's pretty good.
This is why you were small market team. That's actually not how that works.
that's
That's
not
more
how it
of
is.
a
There
built-in
we
thing.
go.
It's like a really cool city, man.
But
It's
you
pretty
did have
dope.
me at Project Bullshit. You get generational talent, and you are wasting him. Malone should be criticized more.
Well, it looks like we got you on the case.
Malone should be criticized more.
I mean,
though.
look, they all should be criticized right now. I get it, man.
But just to be clear, we're a small market team because the city is small.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's
That's
There's
what
not
I
a
can't
ton of
change.
water here, so like this can only be a
It's a
certain
smaller
amount.
city. Yeah.
Maddox, I give up. What do Wizards like about fast food? They can nugget anything they want.
That's positive. Let's go. Dad joke.
Anything they want.
Anything they, all right. You know what, Maddox? We'll give it to you.
That's
Dude, that's
positive.
positive,
Giving it to
bro.
him. That's positive.
That's
Judges
positive.
say,
I
let it
liked it.
stand.
I liked it.
Clarence Molina. This is not how Jokic wants to play basketball.
Yeah, no
losing?
shit, man.
This is
Losing
true.
while he shoots every time.
You know what?
This is his nightmare. He's
I agree.
gonna wake up in a cold sweat tonight.
We know.
Everyone who hates this, you're just, I get it. 2-year fan, always catching up on shows from work at 4 a.m. Thank you, Michael Pinter. First time catching a live show. You guys are amazing.
Hell yeah.
Love all NBA too.
Hell yeah.
Thanks for all the vibes.
Dude,
Positive.
that is a super positive. You
Michael,
get that
thank
too.
you.
That's worth 2 positive.
I also love all NBA. Can you guys skip the Nuggets though on the next episode? Can you just talk about other stuff? He's already planning for it. What else do we got? Dean Jordgris. Sometimes when a player goes for 50, he's taking points from his teammates. This time, I think his 55 points, 2 and 8 assists took away from no one.
Nope.
Fair or not, this is when you normally make a coaching change.
There were only 16 baskets tonight that Jokic did not score or assist on. The whole game.
Sick.
You got to assume some of those came when he was on the floor. But then there was a bunch of time when he was not on the floor that there were lots of opportunity for a make or an
Yeah.
assist
Well,
to happen.
impossible for him to score or assist when he's not on the floor. Yeah.
Jeebus. I'm just saying, like,
No,
take
you're
that into consideration.
You're,
Like,
you're very right. Yes.
Yvonne NBG 62. I'm just going to change it every time just to cover my bases. Orlando is dead last in 3 points made, but they are top 5 or 3 in defense. They are winning with effort. Meanwhile, Strawther can't stop a cold. I hope Jokic yells at the whole team, staff, and ownership.
I want Jokic to yell at everybody, then I want him to yell at us.
Me too.
I know, dude.
Ulysses Ventura, Jokic playing with terrorists on his team.
Okay, not positive.
All right, not positive.
Yeah, I don't think. Well, judges, no. Okay. Joker's wild. Trade Jokic. Rebuild with Cooper Flag.
Okay, not
right,
positive.
all
Not
right.
also not a great plan.
Yeah. It's a tough one.
Will any of you media members gonna ask Jamal why he came into the season out of shape and why he's pouting with a $200 million contract?
I don't know if he'd answer that one.
Yeah,
I can ask. Noah
Negative,
Linden.
though.
I'm sorry. It's time to blow the team up. We don't have the roster or draft capital to be a contender. Fire Booth. Free
Dang,
Jokic.
remember the 5th of November. Not positive. Keep going.
Tamir Tahir, who is really venting tonight, and it's welcome. I understand. It's welcome. Russ, only 32 minutes tonight was weird from Malone.
Well, it's because Pickett was playing so well.
Poor
I'm dead serious.
He was good at
I'm
that first
100%
stint, man. He was
serious.
good. He had some saucy passes. Nobody could make a three, but he had some sauce.
No, for real.
He had some sauce.
It's just really
That's
funny.
why.
Porta-friend. I have a lot of negative thoughts right now.
Yeah.
But one positive thought
Okay.
I have is that D-Line has a very entertaining vocabulary.
He really does.
I love the fun and unique way he uses words. Keep up the good work.
Yeah, listen to this. Hey, Vogt. Fuck you.
Yes. I can't tell you how much I felt that one coming in my bones.
Oh, you know what? Hey, this is positive. This is positive. This one right here is positive.
Babushka. BJ Malaise.
It's just BJ. Kale, it's
Guys.
just BJ Malaise.
Guys, it's
Bro,
just BJ
what are
Malaise.
we-
Very positive.
What are we worried about? This is BJ
Very
We're
Malaise.
just
positive.
swimming in BJ Malaise.
Oh my God.
Your vocabulary really just showing
Yeah.
off. At
There it
every
is,
Super
Malaise.
Chat.
That was my doing.
Stuff
It
that
was.
vocab back in a box, brother. All right. Timo Blends. There is rumors Jamal is at the UFC fights. I don't think it's
Whoa,
rumored.
hold on, you guys.
Are there
I have-
actual rumors?
I have breaking news here that Kale, I'm sending you a tweet. I want you to
Is it related to this before I speak?
keep going. We'll do the next one.
Is it?
No, it's
actually?
not related to UFC.
Okay,
Sorry.
then
I haven't
okay.
seen
Then I'm going to
anything
say
on
what
it.
I was going to say. I don't think these are real rumors so much as they're
Yeah.
jokes. Just to be clear.
I mean, he might be watching it. Who knows?
yeah, but I mean, these are
it's
just
not here.
these are just
There's
online.
a quote out of
jokes.
Jokic tonight from Bennett Durando, who's on the scene with the Denver Post. Do you have it, Kale? Yep. It says, on what Nuggets need to see the next few games. A reaction. In my country, where I'm coming from, after this kind of stretch, you're going to get a paycheck that is a little bit less than you are worth. So maybe that's what we need to do. Maybe a little motivation that way.
Wow.
I just like that's the most Serbian he's ever been.
Yeah.
Right here, be like, you know what? I wouldn't pay the guys.
Yeah. Yeah.
But it also, it's a real quote. I wanted to share it because it's a real quote. Like Jokic, he's never been this frustrated, man. We are in uncharted territories with Jokic's discontent. We've never been this far across the line, and it's frightening,
A
man.
protest 56-point game.
I love Jokic. I love him so much.
We know.
I do love that a lot of guys would have taken this night to not pass or whatever. Instead, he goes out there and puts up a freaking. He's the violinist as the Titanic is going down, playing a masterpiece.
This one's going to be a real test for Eric's.
The pausometer?
Yeah, all right, here we go.
The pausometer?
Follow me along for the entirety of this one.
Okay, I'm
if this is
closing my
LA
eyes.
or New York, the media would have crucified Malone, Murray, and the Crunkies every
not
single
positive.
presser. Love you guys.
Okay, positive.
But Denver media is also soft.
Oh, not positive.
Love from Belgrade.
Yeah.
Positive. Okay,
I
wow,
mean,
you're right.
Are we not criticizing anybody on this show?
Wow. I think
Kevin Keller.
in the end, not positive.
Not
Sorry.
positive. Yeah.
Yeah,
Regarding
I'd say
bench
negative.
specifically being worse than the sum of their parts, considering guys like Huff and Hartenstein excelling in other situations.
I keep saying.
There's an obvious common denominator. What has Malone done to deserve the benefit of the doubt? In that scenario, and I don't want to speak for you guys, I don't think we've given him the benefit of the doubt on this show. I think it's the easiest thing to point to and just say, this has been a failure for the organization.
I'll go ahead and say I think Malone has probably expired, and it's tough. And I will say why what has he done to deserve the benefit of the doubt? He just has 2 years on his contract, and the Cronkies are not going to pay a penny more than they have to for a coach.
But I agree specifically with that dynamic. I think it's the easiest thing to point to with this staff and Malone and say they've failed to do this in the Jokic era. Aaron Tanzer, their body language tonight told the whole story. Slumped shoulders, no juice or effort from the start. They look sad, and then oh snap, here we go again.
We have not, you know what we've not talked about in a very long time? The juice. This has been a juiceless stretch.
Super dope hip hop. I know many don't like LeBron, but he and Jokic equal Cool emojis. I'm angry he didn't choose the Nuggets 18-19 because LBJ plus Joker 3 trophies. Would you trade MPJ, Strawther, Zeke, and a flyer and a 1 for LeBron James?
No.
Yes, but that's the saddest one. And LeBron looks washed.
He is washed. It's not his fault.
But he'd look great with Yoke. You know what I'll bet he could do? Run pick and roll and get the ball to Yoke.
Yeah.
Yvonne or Ivan, MBG 62. Fire Booth, get Bob Myers. He is just chilling at ESPN.
We have stooped to a new rock bottom.
Bob Myers is what we're calling out, and I love it. Definitely don't get Bob Myers.
Yeah, do anything but that, please.
Jokic boosts EFG percentage and plus minus to his teammates at the highest level in history. Sell our players in a high and get proven all-stars starters from other teams. I don't know if you'd be selling anyone on the high right now.
Who are we selling high?
But I understand what you're saying. Would equal 4 to 6 rings. Okay, Chunk Dickwell's burner. Hey,
Our
babe.
guy.
The team has
20
no more
piece.
folks to give. The vibes are no longer immaculate, but we have reached the nadir, and I know nadirs. I was addicted to the hokey pokey, but just like I did, Jokic and the Nuggets will turn this around.
Hey,
Positive!
Positive!
By the way,
Let's
those 20
go.
bucks
Add
from
it to the count,
Dude,
Kale.
I knew
Let's go.
Chunk Dickwell's burner would arrive and turn things
Of course
around.
his
His burner would be positive.
Dude, we might get to 10 here.
20 bucks from Chunk Dickwell's
Hell yeah,
burner.
babe.
Asil, I was pissed. Then I remembered. Win 3, we will be 14-10, same record as chip season. Team is sad now, but not as bad as we all think. Keep the faith.
That's classic
Very
positive. Add it to the
positive.
classic positive.
It's like we said earlier. Don't worry, guys. It's not that they're as bad as they seem. They just hate each other.
It's never as bad as it
They
seems.
just hate each other. It's
But
totally
teams don't
different.
have to like each other. They just learn how to learn how to play together.
And I should really say it looks like they do. I'm not.
Yeah, we
actually
don't- what do
saying
we know?
it.
We
I'm
don't
just.
shit.
I'm trying to be funny. Post nut clarity. It's my fault. I forgot to watch the game live in DC. That's why we lost.
And that's no, that's not positive. That's
It's close.
no, it's close, but it's a mea culpa.
Can
A
I
mea
say-
culpa is
can I
not
say
positive.
what a real move it is to not watch the game live? It's the worst loss of the season, and then you showed up for the losers lounge.
That is a
anyway.
move, man. First teamer. Give
That
him his
only
badge.
happens
Salute.
in that
Give him
clarity
his
stage.
badge.
Are we the clarity in that?
That's the clarity.
We're the
yeah,
clarity.
we are the post L clarity.
So how was he able to whatever? during that
Naveen
game?
Nevin.
Jeez.
I don't think Booth is a bad GM, but in the NFL, the head coach loses the locker room and gets fired, even if he isn't at fault. Fire Booth and get Bob Myers. Here we go.
If I see one more person say, get Bob Myers.
Bob Myers, man, of all people. That's wild.
Jackson, who is going to cry more, Malone or Reddick?
Oh boy.
I probably can't say anything about Reddick for a bit. No.
Everybody skips Eric. No, Eric, it's okay. We will win we will win tomorrow. Bye, babe.
Positive?
All right.
And Joker,
Right here's this one, though.
Joker's wild. I love the show. Sorry for being negative.
It's okay.
Double digits.
And
We
I gotta
got
say-
it. Yeah,
I gotta
we
say,
hit 10.
as long as you're keeping it respectful to everyone else in the chat and us here, tonight you do not have to be sorry for being negative. You really don't. We get it. We appreciate you rocking with us. We suffer together. Drew Abreu, I would love to be a fly on the wall for wherever Josh Kroenke is right now.
You know what I would like to be? Just like a person in the room. Everybody wants to be a fly on the wall.
D-Line wants
I know,
to be
you
there
can't
to
even
yell.
do anything when you're a fly. You just have to listen.
CJ Jones, the nubby end of a battery.
Positive?
Yeah, that's positive. That's what he's saying.
Does
Not
anyone
that's
understand
positive.
what he
Exactly.
That's
yeah.
what that's a nerd joke. Put it on the board.
Maya Torres, to have Jokic out there scoring 56 points while the rest of the team basically scored nothing is diabolical. I'm screaming. I was also screaming tonight. Tonight was as mad as I've actually gotten. Nuggets
You
still
were
got-
not screaming. You were internally screaming.
Oh no, I literally screamed out. When Hunter bricked, I actually screamed.
That was one.
Our new, Gizmo, who I don't know very well, came over to comfort me, and I was like,
You're like, "Fuck."
He's like,
man.
you're like, nah, man, this is the typical Saturday night.
yeah, dude. DJ Seahawk, Nuggets still got the chip. All that matters.
Cedric desperately trying to get in the positive.
that's
category.
positive.
Cedric is running.
I mean, it's like kind of pathetic,
This
but
is
it's
garbage time scoring, Cedric.
Oh, yeah, this is great. This is great. Off the backboard to himself. Got a rebound.
Ben, 1994. Jokic will be the start of the Nuggets
Okay.
turning around.
That one counts.
Well,
though,
this is
because
when we
it's
started.
It's
If it
original.
is-
These are ones when we started begging for chats that came in. The initial ones were from the
Closest game to Yoke miss is that game, I guess, at the Kings on the 16th.
Dude, we haven't even hit Jokic. Isn't that wild?
Dave Young, we can trade Jokic to a good team for him to shine, or can we? It is probably the only positive thing Nuggets can
My
do.
God.
That's very
dude.
negative, Dave.
Take
very
one away from the
negative.
positives
Dave,
for
that's
that.
not Dave. Pastor Rhett. It's almost Yokmas, and we still have the boys.
Positive.
I haven't heard from Pastor Rhett in a minute. Shout out Pastor Rhett. IX. Zeke doing nothing like always.
Just
he literally did nothing.
Zeke doing nothing like always, including playing.
You know what? F it. There's your scapegoat for tonight.
How are there more?
Peter Plummer. This is all Bo Nix's fault. It's honestly true.
Yeah, that's kind of true.
If he was a bust, the Nuggets would be fine. Denver sports law.
yeah.
Bo
so
Nix
true.
and Deion Sanders.
Oh,
Sadly
you sons
true.
of... I knew I hated the Buffs beat. Ghazi, that's a joke, Buffs beat. I love you. Ghazi Benghazi, it's time to send the Jokic brothers. Do I have to say that to the Nuggets locker room? Okay, cool. Because I don't... It just kind of happens. Yvonne MBG62. Vote, my Taurus brother. It's...
Yvonne,
like E, not I. Yvonne. I got you, Yvonne. I
No,
got
I
you.
think he's like Evan.
No.
No, get out of here. It's Yvonne.
He ended at 14 out of 60.
14,
Dude,
dude, that's actually...
also
actually
known
really
as...
good.
What is that percentage? That
I
has to
think
be
it was
better than
Porter
Nuggets shot
shooting
from
percentage.
three.
Also known as the Nuggets 3-point percentage.
I was going to say that has to be better than the Nuggets shot from three.
Man, this
22%, everybody.
The Nuggets shot 20% from three tonight. We got
did
more
it.
positive comments than the Nuggets hit three tonight.
Look at
Hey,
us.
congrats to all you sickos who made it through this one, man. We love suffering with you. We actually love celebrating
I
with
was
you
going to
more.
say we don't love
But,
suffering
no,
with you,
you
but
know
We
what?
will suffer
We were
so
gonna-
we can
but
celebrate.
we love
Everybody
suffering
who
with
loves
you.
the Nuggets was going to suffer regardless. And tonight we got to do it all together and let some emotions out. The Nuggets were so bad that I almost feel like we let them off the hook a little bit tonight. But what can you do, man?
And we
they
tried
gave
not
us
to.
absolutely nothing tonight, a nothing burger. But they're back in action tomorrow night. Is that a good thing?
Maybe we can get a beef burger or a chicken
They're
burger.
playing our Hawks tomorrow.
Oh, no.
Everybody hit that like button on the way out. We'll see you.
Wins Hawks.
We all silly like the mayor.